Since 1961, Quartz Plumbing has offered friendly, reliable service to residences all over Bergen County, New Jersey. We are a fourth-generation family-owned business, unmatched in customer satisfaction and professionalism while working in your home. We are the hydronic heating and water filtration specialists, with a workmanship guarantee to put you at ease so you can rest comfortably. We offer financing for those big projects that catch you off guard, and we have a network of excellent contractors in all fields for any project you wish to tackle. Call our responsive office team, and we'll dispatch a handsome and educated technician to lay the smackdown on all your plumbing issues. You can also find us at quartzplumbing.com, search us on Google, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Like, subscribe, and share, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Plum Bums Podcast, the blue collar tradesman show where we talk about small business and entrepreneurship, the Everyman's Podcast. We're wearing shades today. Why, Max? Why are we wearing shades?
Because I'm drinking.
No. it's springtime, bro.
Oh.
Beautiful weather. It's finally here.
I feel like a D-bag.
You look like a D-bag.
I feel like a D-bag, and I also feel like I'm in that, remember Warriors? Movie Warriors?
No.
No? Warriors! Come on, the gangs of New York. The gangs in New York in the 80s.
No.
Okay, aren't you like an 80s buff?
Okay, well, I was like 8.
Whatever.
I wasn't watching Gangs in New York. You think my parents rented that from Blockbuster?
Not gangs in New York, it's Warriors. It's like all the gangs from all the different boroughs.
Okay, anyway, what's the point?
Well, there's a scene in it where like they put a hit out on the radio, and the lady who puts the hit is like in all dark sunglasses and
Like
everything,
that?
in like a dark room. Yeah.
Folks, the weather is beautiful. 66 degrees today, sunny. I can't wait to get the motorcycle out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking forward to. I can hear them riding around. I can hear the motorcycles riding around.
It was a couple weeks now.
I haven't fired mine up yet. Have you?
I did. 2 weeks ago, 2 weekends ago, I took it out.
I'm kind of worried because on cold days, it's hard to fire up and the battery will go dead if I try too hard and I have to jump it. And it's the first winter I've had it. I'm worried.
About what? A battery?
No. Yes. All right, fair enough. Springtime renos, baby. Springtime renos.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to those.
Max loves renos, and we hired a little crew actually, and a crew is going to start with us, so we're going to be able to get Max in there to run reno jobs because he loves them so much.
I'll run them. I don't think he understands.
You'll run
that
from them.
Yeah, I don't think he understands that he's doing everything on it.
Who's he?
Vinny.
Oh,
Vinny Gab. Sorry, Furio.
We got
I'm gonna call him Furio.
We got 2 new guys starting tomorrow.
Is the other one a guinea?
He looks like it. He looks like it. What, guinea's not good?
I don't think so.
Whatever. Who's going to get offended at that?
I don't know.
A guinea?
The Italian community?
Some ginzo? What else we got? What else have we been working on? That's it. Spring cleanup.
Slowing down?
I wouldn't say it's slowing down. The industry's making a shift.
The industry is booming.
It's making a shift. Actually, it's not. You know, the stock market is insanely down right now for the past week. Bitcoin, stock market, everything.
Not my concern.
I thought you were in a little side investor.
I had at one point, but
it went down?
No, I took it. Well, it did, so I took all my money.
Okay. Well, that would have concerned you then.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't concern me anymore. I don't want anything to do with it. I don't care if anybody makes money or loses money in the stock market. It's over for me.
As long as you make money.
Yeah.
What is that? I saw this bumper sticker. No, it was a meme during COVID. It was so funny. I was driving behind somebody, and everyone was like, "You got to wear a mask. You got to worry. You got to be concerned about people's health and stuff." And it was a meme. And someone goes, I care more about my lunch than your health. I care more about my paycheck than the stock market. Yeah. Well, here's what I don't understand the stock market. Let's put it that way.
Nobody does.
I don't understand
it. It's a Fugazi.
But
this is going to be a very Italian episode because of this beer. It's a Fugazi, a Fugazi, a Woozy, a Wazi.
Still going. What I understand is if the stock market goes down, so do we, because
Yes, that's.
so we don't want that.
We don't want it. I know.
Bro, you're the
I
worst
understand.
cheerleader to have in the passenger seat.
Why?
Oh, I hope it all burns down while we're going to a job to try to make money.
Really? Really? Me? All right.
Really?
I'm gonna put
You?
I'm gonna put a phone in the truck next time with us, and it's from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. doom and gloom with you.
I'm pretty chipper in the morning. It happens right around 11:30, right before lunch. When I start to get frustrated and doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Meh. All right, sunglasses are coming off. Happy spring, folks. Happy beautiful weather.
Keeping mine on.
So we want to remind you guys that Plum Bums is now sponsored by New Jersey State League of Master Plumbers. We want to give them a shout out. We really appreciate you guys sponsoring us. It's awesome. Great organization that every plumber should be a part of. Join your local association. They advocate for you. They raise money for you. They raise scholarships for you. They lobby the local government for you. They give you a voice when you don't have one. So join your local association. Our association is Pascack Valley in North Jersey. I suggest every single plumber get on board with your local association. It's a great organization to be in.
Can you see my eyes? Can you tell if I'm looking at you or not?
No.
Nice.
You're one of those. Every time you put on sunglasses, can you see my eyes?
Oh, I want to take a nap. And I just want to make sure that you can't see me taking a nap.
I'll be hear you taking a nap because even though you don't think you snore, you do.
I don't think so.
Especially with I won't say it. I'm not gonna dig too deep this early in. All right, let's continue with our sponsors. Way to break up the sponsor, bro. Also, Plum Bums is sponsored by Jigsaw PMR, jigsawpmr.com, your solution to property maintenance restoration. They deal with fire, mold, water damage, sewer damage. Jigsaw is one of our most responsive contractors. We've been working with him for a long time. And let's tell the story of how we met Otto. We're outside cleaning the trucks right on our shop lawn.
Oh, yeah.
And we're just hanging there one Monday afternoon. He pulls up with a bunch of business cards, starts talking to us, and we've used him ever since.
Such
Out of
an
nowhere.
immigrant thing to do.
Out of nowhere, we still use the guy. I wonder
You
how many
guys
other...
need a hand?
That's pretty much exactly what he did. He rolled up with his little polo and his logo on his shirt. So jigsawpmr.com, give them a call. You can also follow their cleanup journey on Instagram and Facebook. And if you guys are interested in being on the show, we're always looking for small business owners, entrepreneurs. If you're in a cool industry, we'd love to have you on. Come talk about your small business. Come talk about your industry. It's a lot of fun. We have a couple drinks. We loosen up. Sometimes we order pizza if I'm feeling up for it. But it's a lot of fun to come on and talk about your business. It's basically one long commercial. So you're going to go to quartzplumbing.com. You're going to click the podcast link in the upper right corner, scroll down to the Be a Guest application, and fill that whole application out, and we'll get you on. That being said, who do we have today? We got some plumber buddies on today. Folks, this is going to be a fun show, and I'll tell you why. Because all four of us have been in school together. We got Rob and Jay. All four of us went to Passaic for our plumbing school. All four of us, well, you have a couple more classes, Rob.
Just a few.
Just
Yes.
a few?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
You're right on the cusp. But you guys, we all sat in the same class for 3 hours, twice a week, with
Yes, we
Ronnie
did.
Barbarulo, good old Ronnie Barbarulo. For years and years and years, and it's finally over. I thought it would never end.
Yeah.
Very true.
I still wake up and I have dreams that I'm sitting in that
I feel
class.
like I'm supposed to be there at least once a week.
Yeah.
So you guys know each other because you work for the same company.
Yes, we do.
All right. We don't have to throw the company on blast. We're not trying to do that, whatever. But really, what I invited these guys on because I just kind of want to shoot the shit about fellow blue collar workers breaking into the industry.
Hell yeah.
Because that's what the show's about. Kids, we generally gear this show towards kids coming out of high school and try to get them away from college because college is trash.
Agreed.
Unless you're going to be a doctor or an engineer where you need it. You guys might want to pull those a little bit closer. But we want to basically show the world how cool young up and coming plumbers are. So take it
I don't
away,
know
guys.
about all that.
Do a little dance. Dance, monkey.
Well, I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years and I'm almost done with school. I started kind of late in the schooling, but, I couldn't be happier with where I'm at right now. And I think I'm right at the cusp too. At around 10 years, you start to really know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you start to yearn to make the money you see that you are making your boss. So, you know, you got to go to school for it, but just start.
You got to put in your time. Everyone's got to put in their time.
Everybody,
You know?
Yep.
I wish I put my time in a long time
Me
ago.
too, dude. I'm 3 years older than you, and I say the same thing.
Well, what did
I wish
you-
I was his age.
What did you do? Because you said you've only been doing this for 5 years, right?
So out of high school, I wanted to be a plumber or an electrician. And Mom had another idea for me. She said, "You're going to college."
Yeah.
So I went for my associate's degree in automotive technology.
Okay.
I was in the automotive field for about 12 years.
You're a mechanic?
I was a mechanic. And then
Where did you go to?
Middlesex
school?
County College.
You didn't go to UTI or anything like that?
No.
I thought it was UTI.
She wanted at least an associate's degree from me.
That's fair.
Plumbing was always in the back of my brain. When I was in and out of jobs throughout my career,
It's crazy you say that.
I kept dipping into it,
Yeah.
calling people, seeing what it's like, seeing
Right.
if I can get in. No one was really wanted to hire someone for a full week's pay. They wanted you here for 2 days or maybe 3 days a week for a
What
few
year are we
hours. This is 2000. I dove back in at 2011, 12, trying to get back into it and like see if I can do it.
Dude, the
And
crash
then-
was still pretty crappy back then.
So a lot of people just weren't looking for people at that point.
That's fair.
And then the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
And
That whole thing.
And the craziest thing happened.
my whole mindset,
Bo Burnham?
my whole
Yeah.
mindset was
Yeah.
changing as it was, but the pandemic, when I was off for 2 months, really drove me to do it.
You
I
were
pulled the
working during
trigger.
the pandemic, right?
Yeah, man. I worked for a guy
I'll come back
out
to you.
of out of Montclair, and it was just he and I were the
Yeah.
we're the only two employees. And when it first happened, or when everybody got sent home, there was a week of uncertainty, and then I always say the same thing. After that, it was all the sewer lines were clogged. So we went out and cleared
Yep.
the sewer lines. Then everybody's kids came home from college, so their water heaters went.
Yep.
And then the winter came, and everyone was still living in the house, and they wanted it nice and
Yeah.
warm. So all their boilers went, and we just had a year of doing all the same thing we've been doing with masks on and dirty masks.
Endless work, dude.
It was
We were so busy.
us.
I
We
think that
were
was
so
my least
busy.
favorite part was wearing a mask while trying to do boilers.
Well, listen, once I got into the basement, the mask came off. Sorry, folks. But
I do have a story about that.
What's the story? Go
So
for it.
I was doing a boiler service at this lady's house. There was no one to be found in the basement. I was just down there sitting on a bucket, draining the boiler,
I feel like the
doing the
story's gonna
service.
make me mad.
And all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I saw someone just staring at me. And I look over and I pull my mask back over because it was sitting like right over my mouth. I pulled it back over my nose, and the lady went off on me, screaming about how she has children and I'm gonna kill them. And she wanted me out of the house immediately. And that was the first time I ever got kicked out of someone's house.
Lucky you.
For over a mask.
By the way, lucky you.
Over a mask.
Lucky you don't want to work
Yeah.
for somebody like that.
Yeah, my boss
Not at
ended
all.
up actually really taking my side, and he canceled them as a customer,
Good.
blacklisted them.
Let's give some insider information. I did it on the last episode, but dude, Murphy kept the mask mandate for a long time.
Let's give some insider information. It was a scamdemic.
We all know it was a scandemic. I'm wondering if that customer knows that she was a moron.
No,
or
you
if
know
she's
why?
Still,
Because they're morons. Morons don't know they're morons.
I think I was a moron for taking 2 shots.
oh, you got?
I got
did you?
I got 2 shots.
Well, so you're basically
Yeah.
shedding protein right now
I'm
while you're down
just-
here with us.
I might be dead next year. I don't know. Who knows what there was in that thing? But my wife's a nurse, so
Did you get your chops busted at all in the field?
Oh yeah, all the time. But we worked mostly in Montclair,
Yeah, so that's-
in New Jersey town, and it's a lot of
Yes.
A lot of yogurts.
yes, a lot of Pilates,
Yeah.
bottled water. Like,
What is that? what's that stupid bike that everyone rides? The Peloton.
Peloton bikes,
They probably
e-bikes that you got around there.
Every house has to.
And also, I mean, I don't know if you guys experienced this, but when after COVID kind of set in and people were set in the idea that New York was, you know, the offices were shutting down and everything, people migrated outwards.
Oh, yeah.
So Montclair was a big hub for a lot of people who moved from Brooklyn and,
Right.
you know, the Bronx and
Around here,
Queens
too.
and wherever. I would imagine, especially because there were so many people in Montclair who had these lovely houses.
I love
old
Montclair.
houses.
Yeah.
They're awesome. Dude, it's
Montclair's beautiful.
Montclair is
Yeah.
gorgeous.
and it's got some of the wildest, like, you know, like a mansion, but
Yeah.
it's a steam heated
Yes.
mansion
Yeah.
because it was built 100 years ago. It's wild.
Some of the
And
best.
nobody
heating
does steam
systems
anymore.
over there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, learn steam. Learn steam. If you're going to become a plumber,
Absolutely.
learn steam. Nobody does. I get calls from. So I have a bunch of steam how-to videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
I still, till this day, I get calls from all over the country wondering if we'll go out and do their steam systems.
Yeah.
Chicago,
Yeah.
New Hampshire, Boston, Utah.
There's West Virginia.
West Virginia. Some lady had all apartments she was rehabbing. She wanted the steam
shit.
system redone out in Chicago. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Chicago's a good spot for
Yeah,
that.
old,
Yeah.
old cities, I guess. Ooh, I had a question. So
Go
you
for
have
it.
a lot of videos from YouTube or whatever, but just on Steam. What do you think of flushing the boiler?
Oh, once a year.
Once a year, what do you do? Flush it clear?
I don't know, Max. What do you do when I put you on those jobs? Yeah, I flush it pretty clear.
You flush it clear and you put steam clean
I don't
in.
do anything anymore.
And then you tell the customer when you put the steam clean in, you tell the customer don't flush it. Don't
Leave it in there.
don't drain a little bit of water out. Don't add a little bit of water. I hate VXTs. He loves them. I hate the autofills.
like
I
VXTs.
like them too. They
Hate 'em.
seem
I'm
better
a
than
big
the.
VXT fan.
What's the other one?
I don't ever use the other one, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, where it's
The
just a
McDonald
light.
Miller
It doesn't
one?
have the digital display.
The McDonald Miller one? Yeah.
McDonald Miller.
I'm going to take that back, actually. You know the low water cutoff that you have to pull it looks like a big triangle,
Yep.
and you pull the yellow handle?
Yeah.
Those you do have to drain because the ball gets stuck.
Yes.
But if you
clear
don't
the
have that,
dirt pocket,
if you don't have
right?
that, don't flush it. Just leave it.
Yeah.
Because you want the same water in there as much as possible.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then when you guys add the steam clean, you use the powder.
Yellow
The green
powder,
stuff.
yeah.
What do? Do you read the label? Do you add the whole thing each time?
I
Well, I'm
I
gonna have to
put
edit this
half.
out.
I put half.
Half of
Because it only
All right, that's
it doesn't
normal.
it doesn't
Yeah.
recommend the full bottle. They don't recommend the full bottle on the bottle. You should put half in.
So
Is
I
that what
put
is it?
2
Yeah.
years in. My second and my third year, I worked for a almost boiler only steam.
Yeah.
Was there?
I would love that job.
It was a lot of learning. I learned a lot about heating in general, and it's definitely helped me in my
Bro,
career.
that makes you invaluable.
It does. It absolutely does.
You know how many...
But you know what their belief was? So the guy that I worked for works at the Boiler Institute in New York. With
Is there one of those? I didn't know there was
yeah,
even one of those.
yeah.
Wow.
What Dan
Holloran.
Yeah,
Holloran.
he's the president of that school
Who's Dan
in New York.
Holloran?
That's
He's
like-
the
I know
one that
him?
made
Yeah.
the steam book.
Yep.
There's
yeah.
two really great.
And-
he made
Yeah,
a
I have
bunch
them
of
up right
them.
up there.
Flush,
You know, pumping away.
pumping away,
by Dan.
I don't have that
which
one.
is for hot water systems, and then the steam. He has a steam book. He has a lot of books.
Dude, that guy's like the Robert Goddard of steam steam systems.
His theories on it are very, very on
That
par.
book has bailed me out
Yes.
plenty of times.
Yes.
We've come to the rescue on the plumbers that go in and they can't figure it out. And we go in there on just something I randomly read in that book. And they think we're like,
The art of steam heating.
the art
right?
of steam heating.
Yeah,
I have it
yeah.
up there, bro. It's the best steam book. Any plumber will tell you if they're worth their weight in gold.
So my
Can I
old,
steal one of those?
Absolutely.
my old
Which one?
boss
Fudio
don't
or
care.
Yacht
doesn't believe in flushing a boiler.
Period.
You can drain it to clean the sight glass and stuff like that, but from all the manufacturers he's worked for, they don't recommend changing that water out too much. They
Yeah.
want you to leave what's in there.
Yeah.
Because of oxidation.
Yep.
Yeah, but if
Adding
you
too
don't
much
do
water.
that, you pull all the oils, and in 2-3 years, the whole system starts banging.
So you want if the system's banging, you can use like the steam clean He wasn't a big believer in steam clean. Only when you were getting surging from the boiler.
Okay.
Because, to Jay's point of like flushing or not totally flushing it, is I've been led to believe that if you get all of the residue out of the bottom of a steam boiler,
yeah.
you've now exposed this cast iron that was previously protected by a layer of sludgy rust to now freshly oxygenated water that you're adding to the system.
How do you
and
feel
now
about
that's going to tear. But
I don't disagree with it. I think steam likes to run dirty.
it
Yeah,
does.
absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. So that's what I was just curious, because I've heard conflicting.
I think steam
all
likes to
the
run
time.
dirty, but I don't think it hurts once a year. That's why I tell people, don't mess with flushing it out a little bit. Don't take a little bit out, add a little bit, because the more fresh water you
Yeah.
add, the worse it is for the block. I think if you flush it out once a year, it's like doing an oil change on a car.
Bro,
But
every
you're
5 years.
There's probably something to what your boss says, is that the dirtier it runs, unless you're getting surging,
Yeah.
then
That's
really
what you want
don't
to take
touch
care
it.
of, and there's ways to do that too. But
Every 5 years, we power wash the inside.
we had
do that.
So we what are those? The surge port, or what's it called?
With the side of the boiler?
Yeah,
Where you have the
you
T?
put a ball valve. You could put a ball valve there. We always put a ball valve.
We should put a bulb out there. It's so
Inch and a
stupid
half
that we
ball
don't.
valve.
Yeah.
We
I
always
do.
put one in, and we made this device out of copper and a ball valve
Yep.
with a hose connection,
Yep.
and put little pinholes in, and you
Yep.
just bring it in and out.
That's it.
But
And
you're
you just
not
flush the whole thing
really.
out?
You're not draining it. You're just loosening everything
You're
up.
cleaning everything up.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you why. I guarantee you a lot of manufacturers will suggest that. And it ties into how crappy our water is.
The worst.
High calcium, high chlorine, high everything else, and it just eats plumbing from the inside out, including cast. And bros, who's the company? You know what? I'm not going to say it, but there's a company that won't warranty around here. There's a couple of them that won't warranty because of the water chemistry. They want proof of the water chemistry. I know exactly what. I'll tell you guys off camera.
Yeah.
I was so
think I know
angry.
it.
I was so angry because we're such a faithful customer to this manufacturer, and they're like, we can't do it. I'm like, you know how much money I've spent with you for the years, and you're not just going to replace this one block? Come
Yeah.
on.
It's a boiler company.
Yes,
I know who you're talking about.
but we worked it out.
Okay.
So I got like really Karen on email on the phone.
And he gets Karen. He
I
is
put the wig on
Karen.
and everything.
The Karen
Oh yeah,
of
the
Karens.
nice crew cut with the bangs that come down. I'll put that on. I'll talk to someone's
Karens
face.
get results. I mean,
Sometimes they also get punched in the face though. So
true,
you
but
got
you can't punch people over email. So
that is true.
I think you did the right thing. But yeah, I mean,
Dude, this is why plumbers are on the same age, and you said it the last time. We need to build relationships and work off each other because we can always give each other tips. Because we're going to grow up together in the industry.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? As
I
lame and
gather-
gay as that sounds.
As many master plumbers around my age as possible. I don't want to just get information from one person,
Right.
whether it be my boss or just one other person. I want to get feedback from everyone
Yeah.
and kind of put
100%.
together
And then you figure it out yourself.
what I really want
Exactly.
to do, because I did at my neighbor's house. I did a full construction job on my neighbor's house, brand new addition. And
You alone?
Me alone, yeah. Well, I had helpers here and
Okay,
there.
so not you alone.
It
which,
was-
by the way, though, that was your first.
That was
like
my first
major
major
undertaking alone.
side gig.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
It was much longer
the
than I
final
thought
result?
it was
Yes.
going to be. The final result was
course.
beautiful. Everyone
course.
that saw the work really loved it. But I talked to a few different plumbers and got 3 different sets of information on how I should pipe it,
Yep.
how I should roll my Ys,
Yeah.
how I should vent the toilet. And I just called good old Mike D'Antico, our teacher.
Shout out to Mike
And
D'Antico.
I
We
also
love him.
called. I actually sent pictures to Ronnie, like drawings, and
Never heard back from him.
No, he did get back to me. Ronnie, you got back to me. Thank you.
And we
I
love
can't say you don't get
too.
back to people. Ronnie got back to me. Mike always gets back to me, and I did it their way, and it worked.
Well, you got to gather information and then make an educated opinion of yourself for yourself. That's how it
No,
goes.
there's going to be
Absolutely.
different ways that people are going to get to the same solution.
There's 100 different ways
You
to skin
know,
a cat
so
at the
it's
end of
you're-
the day.
as long as it works and it works properly, you're good.
Bro, what's the alcohol content on this thing? What's
I don't know,
on-
but you're
on the
very
yacht?
talkative.
Juice.
Very
Well, you're supposed
talkative.
to be on a yacht
high?
drinking that, so
I think it's
Could be high.
8%. It's 8%. But Furio is
Only 5.
5.
You know what this one tastes like? You ever had Peroni?
Yeah, I like Peroni actually.
I guess all
Yes,
Italian
it
beers
does.
pretty much taste the same, and they're low alcohol content. I don't drink a lot, to be honest.
Do you want to switch?
No, I'm good. I like this. I like a good IPA.
That wasn't a
I mean, we're
you
gonna
need a
shout out.
bartender on your show.
wasn't a big
We're gonna
That's
shout
actually
out
a great
Hickory's
idea.
Brewing.
Bravo.
That's a great idea,
You have
actually.
a nice bar over there. Someone's serving up.
Yeah.
Maybe some shot skis.
I'd love that. I'd love to be able
Well,
to
this we
afford that one
we
day.
changed up the format. We changed up just the chairs.
Yeah.
Because we've had a couple of big boys on that
Oh, yeah.
bench,
That
and
thing
it's
is
starting to
Boeing.
get.
Oh yeah, folks, this is our first episode with the new chairs. I don't know how I feel about them.
I'd say they're comfortable.
Yeah,
I like them.
I don't know
All
how
right.
long.
really?
I'm a plumber. I got a bad back.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean,
gonna
I
break
sat
them
it in
in.
the store. It was
It's
all
all good.
cushiony. I figured, okay, this is going to be good for plumbers, but I guess not. Big Lots is going out of business. Did you guys know that?
It's a good store.
Find the closest store
Big
you can.
Lots?
Everything's 80% off. Bro, I went ham
Clifton.
this weekend.
Clifton.
I went crazy at
Yeah.
Big Lots. I bought a whole
good
bunch of
stuff.
stuff I didn't need.
Big Lots. Who is it? Not Raymore and Flanagan by us. The other furniture store on Route 4. Not
Ashley?
Bob's.
Foreman Mills. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Was it Foreman Mills?
No,
or-
Stickley Audi.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Stickley Audi.
The heck is that?
It's also a furniture company that's going
Yeah.
out of business on Route 4.
Wow.
Big name.
And here we are, plumbers still just trudging along.
Trudging along.
Bro, COVID had to be one of our busiest years ever. We didn't stop for one day.
Yeah.
Not one day. Oh, I remember what I wanted to say. So when Murphy kept the mask thing going on and on and on, and he wouldn't take it off for a year, like before he lifted, nobody believed and had made us wear masks. We would go up to the door like, you don't have to wear that. You don't have. Maybe 2 of our customers were like, can you keep the mask on?
Yeah.
Everyone else was like, you don't have to wear that. You don't have to wear that. But when they're out in public, in front of other people, no. They're masked Nazis.
Oh yeah.
So we know the inner workings of what goes on in customers' homes and stuff. We know how you really live your life.
I think that's the
No
same
conviction.
as I don't know, an Indian family whose parents are from the old country,
Yeah.
but they're American and they're happy with what they're doing. They'll have some wine at dinner and stuff, and the booties that we put on our boots, the foot coverings.
Yeah.
Like now it's just kind of a reflex in a
Yeah.
lot of the nicer homes. Of course, in a nice, what sounds elitist,
jerk.
but
Screw those crappy homes. Screw those
when you
pussies.
walk in and it's an old lady with carpet like floor to ceiling, literally, and you're like, all right, let me put these on. It's snowing out, but but there are some white ladies who answer the door like, welcome to Sing Sing. Please take off your boots, and you
Take
say,
off
I
your,
have these
definitely
foot
take off your boots. I've had that so many times.
Yeah, like,
know,
like
don't
not
Take
even
off
asking.
your boots and go work in my shower.
Yeah.
No, thank
can't-
you.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
That's a liability. You can't do that. Did you know
Shower.
that? If you get injured, workman's comp won't cover that.
I know.
Because
I know.
you're supposed to wear. So you have to
supposed to
wear
have
boots on the job.
protection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you work
Let's
in
just bitch about
people's
customers.
We could do that all day.
You guys
when
suck.
you're working in the tub or the shower and you need to get the leverage, so you put your right or left boot into the tub.
Yeah.
But you're like, I'm not getting a drop cloth. And then
Yeah.
you get up and you're wet.
Yep.
And there's a big brown rinse.
Big
You're
brown.
like, what did I step in?
Yes.
Shouldn't be dirty.
Yeah.
And the customer who's been MIA for 30 minutes
Now
is
they're
like,
behind
hey,
you.
Oh, I
what-
know.
like, what are you
I
doing?
brought you some coffee. Oh my! What did you do to my fiberglass tub?
Get out.
My
Get out.
uncle drove in boot covers for us. Like okay. Well, I'm going to tell this story again.
Please.
Paul never went to the school, right? He was supposed to come that one day. So my uncle,
He's
like,
a neat freak.
cleanest
Neat
plumber
freak.
I've ever seen in my life.
White shirts. White shirts to work.
Spotless at the end of the day.
Was
would wear.
he in the service at all?
He was a one-man operation.
No, he's asking if he was in the military. He was not.
No, okay.
No, not at all. When we
How
were,
did he?
bro, when we were young,
like-
we used to be he used to be
I
sloth.
like get into my van and I'm dirty already.
I know, me too.
You know how
I-
you know how I got introduced to Paul's wrath was one time.
Paul's wrath.
Yeah, he goes if you don't. Well, his like neatness and his like attention to detail and all that
Totally.
kind of stuff. One time
I can
we had to
appreciate that.
pull these beautiful ornate porcelain pedestals off the wall.
Wall mount pedestals.
Wall mount pedestals.
And they had this huge decorative base that
And they were
that hung on the wall.
siliconed on, which was a nightmare to get off. And we had to call him in to see how it was mounted because we couldn't even tell. So he comes in, he's looking at it, gets underneath with a flashlight. He goes, "Give me a knife." I don't have a knife. He goes, "Phil, give me a knife." Phil doesn't have a knife. He loses his shit. He goes, "What kind of fucking plumbers don't have a utility knife? You guys, this is the problem. This is why this is stuck here. It's because you two idiots don't have a utility knife."
Hell yeah.
And it was just a
And then
rant.
after that, it was like,
I never have-
Where's the tarp?
I have a-
How
I
come
have-
the tarp's not touching? Why is your tool so?
If I wear sweatpants at home, I have a utility knife now. That's
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
is.
Heck yeah.
Dude,
My first boss drove it home. The
With what?
things that you want in your pocket walking into a customer's
Yeah.
house is a tape measure, a marker, or a pencil, a utility knife, a pair of channel locks, and a screwdriver, like a
Yes.
multi-screwdriver.
Yes.
If you have those things, you
could do,
probably
like,
can
half the
fix
job.
almost everything in the house.
Yeah.
yeah.
And you don't really have to
Exactly.
go back out to the truck unless you
It's
need a
true.
Sawzall
Yeah.
or a Pro Press or something like that.
It's
What do you
true,
carry,
man.
like the mini tool bag into the house? Like the little handheld?
So if I have to bring that tool bag in, it better be for something important. That
You
I'm
got a
gonna
big
have
tool
to.
bag?
I have a nice Milwaukee.
What do you keep channel locks in your pocket?
I put them on my back pocket.
Hmm.
I have-
Unbelievable.
yeah, the baby channel locks get you out of pretty much
Yes, that's
everything.
true. Yes.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Baby channel
but
locks are my.
Q, what do you got? You got some. Doesn't he look like Q from Impractical Jokers? Rob, you look like Q from Impractical Jokers. I can't believe you don't know that show.
no, I do. I
Okay.
looked at the. I
Funniest
looked at the
show
picture,
ever.
I'm like, I definitely recognize.
So
Anyway,
we
go
talked
ahead.
about this while you were outside. He looks like. Have you ever seen Zeb? He's a dancer.
Oh my god,
He does like
yeah.
country line
Yes.
dancing.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know who he is.
You know the country line dancer where everybody like dubs over
He
his
does
video with like
crazy foot
dubstep or
moves.
whatever.
with big.
No.
looks exactly
'cause
like
he's-
him.
He looks like he's crip walking.
I gotta
in
look.
his
I gotta
blue
look it up.
jeans.
I don't know.
You
it.
have to.
He's
And
that
then
country
you will
line
never
dancer.
think,
Edited in.
you
Yeah.
will never think Rob looks like anyone else.
Really?
Yeah.
Zeb?
His name's Zeb.
It's
My
just 'cause
friend
of the
saw
hair
him,
and probably.
and
the
he goes, "Why is
weight."
Zeb working at your job site?" And I said, "Who's Zeb?" He goes, "Look up this video right now."
Yep.
And I looked it up, and I go, "No way."
Holy crap, that's
And I
Rob.
said, "That's Rob. Rob's working with us."
What were you gonna say? Were you gonna say something? Or did
Oh
you
no!
lose it?
Just in so far as with the tools that you carry in with you, I've done enough service work that I'll bring in the whole pail, and I've got pretty much everything that you could possibly need, whether it's like needle nose pliers or a little dental pick
Yeah.
to pull some shit
Right.
out. Like, and,
that's a good
and it's
tool
a
to have,
little, it's a
actually.
little heavy, but like, I've never in my life gone in and oh, you're gonna just replace a Moen Posi tap. And it's just been like, oh, everything popped up
Right.
easily.
La-di-da,
The Allen
let me do
screw-
this
The
now.
Allen key was perfect, and like, you know,
Rob never goes back to his van.
I really try
Everything
not
is
to.
in that
Bro,
bucket.
trips to the van will kill the job.
Yes.
Yeah, man, it's-
They'll
It
add
does.
so much time to the
It
job.
does.
Efficiencies.
Efficiency's huge.
Especially if
Forget
your
about
van,
kill-
your
forget about
van
killing
went
the
through a whole
job.
day of work and
Yeah.
then you're going out to it,
Yeah.
you're not going to find what you're looking for in a timely fashion.
Yeah.
What were you say?
And I said, forget about killing a job. It kills my soul
Yeah.
to have to go out to the truck,
Me
I
too.
hate
go
trips
get
to
a
the truck.
tarp, go
It
get
means
a.
that I failed.
Yeah.
I didn't come in.
You know, you know where
You're
this,
not prepared.
you know where this is probably the worst for people in New York City who work in New York City in high rises.
I would
Absolutely. Yeah.
I
yeah.
would screw that, dude. We used to work. I used to work in a bunch of high rises in
Jersey
Fort
City.
Lee. No, not Fort. Not.
Oh yeah,
really?
we did
The
a
ones
couple
along
in
the river.
beginning.
You've been a couple.
Yeah.
A couple. I did a renovation up there.
It's a nightmare.
I'll never again, dude. Never.
Miss
again.
one
You-
tool, and now you have to go down
I
20
have, a
foot
whole,
flights.
I have a whole video of it, like just me videotaping me having to go back.
They
and
don't
forth
let
to the
you
truck.
park. They don't let you park in the. You have to go park in the utility parking lot,
is all the way-
at the end.
Oh man.
All right, so
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
a
yeah.
whole.
Forget that. I
No
mean,
more. No more high rises for us.
Yeah.
So
I won't
the
even do like
company
a two.
I worked for, the steam company,
Yeah.
their other half of they had 2 companies. Their other half was Union in New York City. We
Okay.
used to have to deliver product to the Union guys.
Vito.
We'd park like 3 or 4 blocks away, carrying 6-inch cast iron down the streets of New York.
Yeah.
For these big projects they would do. And then they always had a helper, and the helper really wasn't a helper. He was the guy that would move the van every
make
so
sure you didn't
often
get a
so you
parking
didn't get
ticket.
a parking
Yeah.
ticket. It's wild.
I
It's
hate
wild.
that
I don't know
godforsaken
how
city.
you make money working in New York City.
Well,
You
you,
know what
have to charge $1
You do
million.
have to charge
I mean,
a lot of money,
water
but-
heater.
You know what it costs for a water heater in New York City?
I couldn't
$7
even imagine.
grand.
Yeah.
For a 50 gallon.
Wow.
7.
Yeah, but that's what it is. You want to deal with New York City. You want to deal with, the guy who lets you in and out of the elevator. Because remember, there was one that we worked in that the utility guy has to be with you every single
Yeah.
time you go in and up the elevator.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't just like do whatever you want. You know?
You got to have pretty much ins with any building that
Yeah.
you're working in just to get through.
You ever see that video? Somebody put it out on YouTube. It was a bunch of kids who do pranks and shit, and they did a test where they carried a ladder into buildings to see if they were able to get
Oh,
into
yeah.
buildings past security.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, this man by the name of Steve Phillips said if you carry a ladder into anywhere, you can get in for free because they'll think you're working there. So we're trying that today with Heath and Dylan. Here they come.
They look like idiots.
Holy shit. Huh?
It fucking works. He didn't even ask us anything. What the fuck? He literally looked at me and was like, I was like, what the fuck?
Wow. Holy
Are
shit.
you fucking kidding me? You just walked it up with me through
It's like a chicken stuff. It's intense.
We just found the hack to fucking life. He opened the door.
Freaking hysterical.
It's like a 6-foot ladder.
Yeah.
They're just kind of carrying it with it, and they're
Yep.
just like, excuse me, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, and just boom.
Yeah.
You can just basically clean out the Museum of Modern Art if you're carrying a ladder. That's basically what they proved.
Yeah, which is amazing because sometimes I'll go into a place that we've worked 100 times, and they're like, "Who are you? What are you doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a code?
You know my name.
I'm wearing this shirt. Like, what the heck?"
I saw you here yesterday.
We've been going to this building. I've been going to this building that we work at for over 2 years, and they're sitting there looking at me, and they're like, "What's your name again?" And I'm like, "I literally talk to you 2 to 3 times a week when I'm here."
That I will do.
2 to 3
I don't
times.
remember names.
Yeah,
I know faces. Your name.
But you know
that's
what's
gone.
funny? They know this guy.
Oh, they know.
Absolutely love Rob. Rob's like a shining star in
Is
this
this
building. Gaslight.
okay.
Gaslight.
Well, Rob always had the funny comments in class.
He-
Remember when we went
all day.
Yeah,
all day.
all day.
If I could just work with the guy all day, we'd be at different parts of the house. But if I could hear Rob just making his little
comments.
his little quips, it would make my day.
What is that? Where it's like I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting to move. I'm not waiting to move in with my girlfriend because I want to be with them all the time. I just like knowing that they're in the other room doing something.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, that would be. Only instead of frustrated screams. It's
So
just,
Ronnie used to bitch about Growy all the time, how much he hates Growy.
Yeah.
So all through class, this is a funny story. So all the whole year, he's just, every time someone brings up Growy, he's like, "Oh, I hate that company. Don't even get me started." So then we went to the manufacturing plant.
American Standard. That was the
American Standard,
yeah,
but they
yeah.
also make Growy. But everyone who works there calls it Growa.
Yes.
So they're saying Growa the whole time we're there, and we come back to class the next day, and Ronnie starts saying Growa, and he said it like 3 times, and everyone's like looking at each other, not wanting to say it, and Rob was the only one that chimed up and said, "Hold on, are you now saying Growa? Is that what you're doing, Ronnie?"
Are we just following the freaking
So
words?
funny.
Of,
He was the
company
only one
that
that had
you
the
hate?
balls to say anything. But we all heard it. We all heard him start saying Growa.
well, not for nothing. I mean, it was like one meeting with this bodybuilder who represented
Yeah.
American Standard,
Oh,
who
yeah.
was like, it's actually Growa, and then
like I'm cultured, you uncultured swine.
And I think it was Ron who was
Growa.
the one who threw out there that Growa, like that Hans Growy and Growy are 2 different things.
Yeah,
And
they
the
are,
right?
reason is that in 1939, the father and son had a disagreement in Germany, and who knows what that might have been about.
Well, that's right around the time. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, who knows? Who's to say? But they had a disagreement, and now it's two different.
The time frame really just lines up there.
Yeah, for whatever reason, who's to say?
The same thing happened with Adidas and Puma. Those are brothers.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, those are brothers. Adidas and Puma. Adidas was the original, and then the brother was a part of Adidas, and then they had a disagreement, and then it
You
became
got to
Puma.
pick one. Who are you picking?
I loved Adidas always.
Me too.
Yeah, me too. I gotta go Adidas.
Bro, I want to bring.
Do you have any Pumas?
I do have a pair of Pumas. I'm dying
might.
for a genuine Russian Adidas tracksuit. I want, like, I freaking love that.
Yeah.
I watch videos of them
In
doing,
red.
like, dancing to techno in, like, mud pits outside of their apartment buildings out there in that godforsaken country. Everyone's got something Adidas, full Adidas tracksuit, the Adidas sneakers, the white sneakers with the 3 stripes.
Is Russia the one that has the? There's a lot of, whatever copycats, like fake stuff. So if you look at the like it's got the 3 little bars that Adidas does. Like it looks like a mountain.
Probably.
And then-
I mean, that's.
But then it's spelt like ADHD or something. Like it's just not.
I know.
right.
Well, I know why. So we dumped a whole bunch of Adidas on that country at like 30 years ago or something, like a whole bunch of overstock. So Adidas had, it was some. I
we
read some
freed you
weird
from
article.
communism. Here's
Yeah.
Adidas.
Jeans and Adidas, bro.
It's like the loser Super Bowl shirts
Yeah,
that
pretty
go
much.
to Africa. Okay. Yeah. You know how they print them both
Yes,
and then
100%.
My dad is one of those guys. He doesn't watch sports at all, but he's got NHL, MLB, World Series 1996. It's like, do you even know who was playing, or what? You know,
I love that.
Super Bowl 2017.
Yeah.
He doesn't know who played. He doesn't give a crap.
camouflage.
Yeah.
Bro, I
in
buy all my
case.
stuff at the thrift store anyway. Guys, let's do this. Let's take a break. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with Rob and Jay, and we'll just kind of BS our way through just 4 plumbers sitting in a basement talking.
Love it. Love
Guys, thanks for watching. Stick with us, and we'll be right back.
Call Quartz Plumbing and Heating. Top-rated plumbers in North Jersey for over 60 years. And don't forget to keep treats for Frankie on hand. They'll help to subdue her carnal, animalistic nature.
Jigsaw PMR Property Maintenance Restoration in Oradell, New Jersey. Ready to tackle the toughest disasters affecting your home or business. With state-of-the-art equipment and years of experience, our responsive staff will get you back home quicker than anyone else. Check us out at jigsawpmr.com and follow our cleanup journey on Instagram and Facebook. Give us a call at 201-425-4855. Jigsaw PMR, restoring peace of mind.
Don't really care about the top spot, I just want a bag. Got my foot up on their necks, no brakes, all gas. These rappers like BBLs, cause I swear they all ass.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Plum Bums Podcast, the Blue Collar Tradesman Show, where we talk about small business and entrepreneurship, the Everyman's Podcast. And we are here with 2 Everymen with us right today, Rob and Jay.
With us right today.
Jay and Silent Rob.
You steal my joke? You steal my joke?
Well, I came up with it. What are you talking about?
Not so silent.
All right, Max came up with that. No, you said Jay and Silent Bob. I said Jay and Silent Rob.
Artist.
Exactly.
An artist.
That's the whole joke. That's the whole joke. I just made the joke right there. Anyway, guys, what do you think of the first half? Guys having fun?
Absolutely.
Loosening up, talking about our crappy business.
Yeah.
Yes.
I gotta
Very
be honest,
streamlined
dude.
and easy.
I've done a lot in life. I worked for a bank. I worked for a funeral home. I worked for retail. I've worked everywhere, and this is it. I mean, we're in the most. I'm not going to say the most expensive trade that it's a good thing, but we're in one of the most important trades in a time where everyone's realizing that the trades make the world go round. So I think, for me personally, the journey of snaking through all those different restaurant business, lots of customer service, it's all culminated into running the family business and kind of has opened up It's like what's the footprints in the sand? When you go to Jesus, there was only, how come on the difficult parts of my life there was only one set of footprints?
and
he's like, well, I was carrying you.
No idea what you're talking about.
You don't ever seen footprints in the sand in like every 90s household?
You never seen Warriors, so no.
Footprints in the sand. Okay, that was good. I got to give it to him. All right, go ahead.
No, I agree with you, man. And it's funny to land on this trade. Doing similar to you. I worked in the food service. I worked at Chipotle. I worked at a Chipotle for like 2 years. I worked at a family restaurant for probably a similar amount, maybe 3 years.
Waiting tables?
Yeah, just like a brunch.
10 years in the restaurant business for me.
No kidding, really?
10 years, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the service industry definitely shapes how I interact with people now, being quote unquote like tradesmen, where I'm here to replace a boiler.
Yeah.
It's dirty, it's heavy, and like I don't work with doctors.
Right.
I work with boiler breakers and stuff. But all of that definitely helped in the interpersonal.
I'll say especially customer service in the restaurant business. Dude, a huge percentage of this job and industry is being able to make customers feel comfortable.
Yeah, you want to. You want to talk about making people. Yeah,
I always tell him. I must say it to him at least once a week. Everyone's always rush.
Right.
Get out of the house. Get your money.
You dilly dally.
You leave me in that house for a few hours.
You're a dilly dally.
I'll get you an extra $1,000 out of the job.
I will.
Yeah.
Well, do you convert it into sales?
It converts.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah,
Every time.
Yeah, for sure.
You're hired.
I will walk out with.
Buyer beware.
I make people comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's it. All you have to do is make someone feel comfortable, and then they just start showing you things in the house.
Yep.
They'll walk you around. Oh, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And you're not always going to get a sale, but then it kind of drums it up in their head for next time.
Next
They
time
might
I
call
like
you a
that
week
guy.
from now,
trust you as their plumber.
Jason mentioned
Yep.
that my water heater had some corrosion on it. I showed it to my husband, and he wants a new water heater.
Bro, here's the difference
You're
between
not
us.
You're not selling a product. You're selling yourself. Then everything sells itself.
This is all those private equity companies that are popping up. Gold Medal, AJ Perry. They don't have that.
No.
They're never going to get the same tech. And you know what? I hear that a lot of those companies do, and it's not slander. I mean, they won't service your product. They're all about getting in and replacing the whole thing. So if you have like a leaky valve on your water heater, they're all about replacement because they don't want the headache.
Well, we replaced it too. You're not.
A leaky relief valve, we replaced the water heater.
Valve. When you did valve, I thought you meant shut off.
No, if their relief, you're right. If their relief valve is dripping or something, you got to replace the water heater.
Yeah, and
They get in there and gouge, man.
We've talked to another, just a similar example of a company that was pretty well known around where we work, and all the guys keep saying that it's like more than 50% of the houses of established customers that they had are kicking them out because of the new pricing, because of whatever the company was
This
bought
company's
by
been around for many years, and they're bought out by a hedge fund broker.
That's what
Offered
you know what I'm talking
good amount of money. The owner still works there, in the field.
Oh, how
But
humiliating!
he actually enjoys it.
Yeah,
I've
right.
heard from many people he enjoys it because there's no overhead. You're not thinking about the day to day.
You're right.
Making sure everyone has a job, making sure everyone's getting paid and
Granted,
everything.
it's not
Now you're
his
just going
name.
there and you're
Yeah.
changing a few flappers and you're getting paid a high rate of money.
Yeah.
And you got a bonus.
Dude, but you know what their hourly rate is? You know what companies like that hourly rate is?
You know what happened?
Take a guess.
enough to kick people out. What do you? What, I don't know.
700, 800 an hour.
Dude,
I'm telling you.
They went from
They'll work that into flat rate pricing, which is why customers have to be careful about flat rate pricing too, because you can get taken advantage of. So I recommend all customers get multiple estimates and stuff. Figure out what the going rate is. You know what I
Do
mean?
you guys do flat rate?
We do flat rate. honestly.
Like
We do honest flat rate.
Before you guys get out of control, what was the story you were telling?
Oh, sorry.
Which
Did you have something?
Is it the owner of the company works for
yeah,
the
so
company?
he works, and
Oh.
they were selling like a 50-gallon water heater for like, I'm just throwing this number out here, like $2,400. Now it's $4,800
Yeah.
since this guy took over. And all the customers,
That's
the
insane.
loyal customers are leaving.
That's not right.
That's Air Group pricing, but Air
Yes.
Group also has how many employees? I think they have like 40 plumbers. My cousin works there.
Yeah.
$4,800 for a 50-gallon. I mean, I have a water heater option that goes up to $4,800. So I'll tell you how we do flat rate. And I wish every plumber did flat rate, because if we all
I
do
believe
the
in the
same
flat rate
thing,
system.
if we're all doing the same thing and on the same page and charging about, we don't give the customer options to go to the cheaper guy or the guy who's undercutting everyone, because everyone's on the same page. We all understand the industry the same way.
Well,
But-
you also don't get penalized for a job that you get done in a shorter time, and you also
Yes.
don't screw the customer
Yeah.
when the job takes a little bit longer, because you
Which,
do know
how
what the
often does that
problem is.
happen? How often are you going for a simple job, that Toto you did, and you realize that you have to remove the whole tank just to get the supply line? The customer won't get screwed when
They're
that
still
happens.
paying the same amount.
Yeah.
I like that too, because just being where I'm at, like, of course, there's going to be things that I don't know and things that I have to figure out, but there's a lot of things that I've already figured out.
Yeah.
So I can go into one and be like, oh, there's going to be a wacky one. It's a one piece, tiny, low profile toilet. But it's like, I've done 100 of these. No problem. I'll get it done in the same amount of time as a rookie would get. A Glacier Bay toilet done, where it's like, 10-minute install is on the box. Like,
I prefer the wacky one over the Glacier Bay.
Me too. I hate Home
Agreed.
Depot stuff.
Yeah, agree. Absolutely.
So I took weeks and weeks and weeks. We use a dispatching program for everything. Books that tie into our QuickBooks, and I've set all this up. I use my dispatching program to talk to customers. I send an on my way text. We do employee tracking, start and stop time, pause for lunch, restart time, scheduling, and I upload it, and I built our whole price book. I have a material section and a service section.
You should see it. It actually, he has House Call Pro.
House
correct?
Call Pro.
You should see how his is set up.
I'll show it to you. We'll go through it.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So I built the price book where you load everything into it as far as your material. And then you build your services off your material price book. So I have a water heater in there for a certain amount of time using the same amount of material, and it'll log all the material for each job, and it'll build the price off that. So let's say someone calls me for, I need a water heater replacement, and they haven't had a plumber in their house for 15 years, okay? I go, okay, man, first of all, here's your base price for the water heater. This is for me to come in, pull the water heater, replace it with a water heater, throw in a Bradford White, you're good to go. It's got a 1-year warranty. Your next option up has an expansion tank and a new shutoff. And what else do we put on the second one?
Well, you put a PRV on the house.
That's like the third or fourth.
Maybe a pan.
A pan.
Pan under the heater.
We put the pan
and,
under the heater. That's your second option. It comes with a 2-year warranty with a bigger discount. Your third option, your silver option, because I go basic, bronze, silver, gold, diamond, platinum. Those are all my options.
Wow. Damn.
I've never gone over platinum. You can build a whole plumbing sheet up to platinum. So the next option up is the bronze option with the pan and the expansion tank. It comes with a 2-year warranty and a bigger discount. The percentage goes up a little bit. The third option is your silver option. It has the pan, it has the expansion tank, everything we talked about, but I have a leak stopper for the water heater. That comes with a 3-year warranty, bigger discount. So you're growing the discount, you're growing the warranty, and you're pushing them toward those higher options because, yes, your profit margin is a little bit higher, but the customer doesn't have to see you for years. And if they do, they're covered on everything. Bro, Platinum is a 6-year warranty for everything we touch. So you don't have to worry about anything for 6 years.
So when that Hans Grohe breaks in 6 months, you can
It's
go
almost
back.
like a service plan.
Exactly. Which I'm working on now, a monthly payment plan.
Yeah.
So I have a couple service agreements written where If you opt in for the service agreement, you get 20% off the initial install, and that gets broken up over however long your warranty is. All right. Over time, it's more like you're paying 30%, but you get to break up that 20%, and you're covered for all those years. You can pay it up front, or you can pay it over years. So flat rate, really, you cannot do time and material anymore. No. It's dead. You can't make money from it. The customer gets screwed, you get screwed, and you're going to run around. You're going to shorten the years on your life because you're constantly stressed because you're not charging enough.
Yeah. Have you, just out of curiosity, because I've done that many times.
Time and material?
Well, yeah, just sort of
sometimes
like,
it's appropriate.
Well, on only side jobs for me, where I'm just like, all right, I know that this VXT costs $275 or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll mark it up a little bit, but I'm doing this for usually a family member or, somebody who's friends with them.
See, I charge friends and family 20% more.
That's what
everyone
we were just talking. Some dude was like, "I'm not going to charge you family prices because I charge my family double."
Yeah, people. I have customers. They're like, "Can we get the friends and family discount?" I'm like, "No problem. It's 20% extra because they're a pain in the ass."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they know where you live, and it sucks.
And they don't pay. They'll make you wait to get paid.
I have different members of the family that go 2 different ways. I'll have members of the family that want to pay full price. No discounts. They appreciate you coming to the house.
You have family members that do that?
Yeah.
I don't have a single family member that would
God,
not.
I envy your family.
I have family members that you go to their house and you just expect them to pay for parts, and no one mentions a thing for weeks.
Yes.
About the $70 to $80 you just spent on parts.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And not a thank you, not nothing.
Is that your side or your wife's side?
This is my side. So I will say, so my mother-in-law, she's done a lot for us. She gets free all the way.
Oh,
I do.
You know what? That's great that you
free.
have that relationship.
Everything for free. She's done a lot for us.
Well, for
Tell the
whatever
people
she's
how you
done.
pulled that off. That good relationship with the mother-in-law.
I don't know.
Is Joanna
Some days she
watching
likes
this?
me, some days she doesn't. Who knows? Don't put that on camera.
What were you gonna say?
I don't remember.
Really? It was 3 seconds ago.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't 3 seconds ago.
So let's talk about let's tell some industry stories here because we all got them. Yes. We all got them. We all know them. We all love them. Worst job you've ever been on? Plumbing in your entire plumbing career?
Probably it's not even that bad, but there's 2 of them in between. But the one that I'll tell is I was working for this new company for like 6 months, and I got called on a Friday to a 14 story hotel in like central Jersey. So it was a little away from where we were, and I was without backup. And I get there, and they're like, the guys did something. They ripped something off the wall, an ice machine, but for some reason there was a hot water line leaking. Like they had ripped the copper out of the wall accidentally on the 9th floor. And I was just like, oh, well, they had taped a hose to it and brought it to a floor drain.
Right.
But it had already ruined the electrical for like 9 floors. And
Oh,
we
my
really
God.
need this done today. And I was like, well, I'll take a look in the basement. And I looked in the basement, and it freaked me out. I had never been in a huge mechanical room like that before. I could not find there were 2 water heaters. Like there was one that was decommissioned and a new one and all this nonsense. And I really didn't know how to shut it off. And long story short, I was like, does it really need to be done today? And I realized that there was just a enormous crowd of people checking into this hotel at 4 o'clock. Like it was 4 o'clock on a Friday. There must have been
9
8
floors
weddings.
were ruined. Oh
Well,
my
9
God.
floors of electrical were ruined in this column.
Okay.
It was like the ice machine room. So the ice machine rooms were ruined
All
from
the way
9
down.
to 1.
What size piping was leaking?
It was an 1.25 inch line that branched off into 3/4, and then there was like a reducer that brought it down to a braided thing. But they had ripped the copper off, and then they had pinched it with vice grips. And anyway,
Unbelievable.
It was pretty wild. And the only thing that I could figure out was I was like, well, we have a pro press, so we'll do it live.
Yeah.
And I did it, and man, they had booster pumps in that place.
Yeah.
Really?
It was like a 14-story hotel.
Yeah, you have to.
I even told Joe about it, and like
Those
the
booster
super
pumps kicked in right as he.
I bet.
Right as he chopped that line.
It was crazy because I did a live water line once before, and that's 60 to 70 or something,
Right.
you know, and this just came flying out of the wall, and the pipe was at like above my head. I'm 6 feet tall, so it was above my head. So I'm
No,
like
that's terrible.
slamming this thing on and trying to get the pro press on there, and I did it. And
You
it worked,
did it?
It worked out. But the super, not the super, whatever you would call
Manager?
of the hotel was filming behind one of those like doors with the mesh in the window. And it looks like when I cut it, the final thing, I was just like, you close that door, spun the imp cutter around there one more time. It looked like a bomb went off.
Yeah.
And then 15 seconds
look at
I
later.
can't believe you got that on.
Look at Rob and his trusty 5-gallon bucket.
I was gonna say, like, there's a video online. I'll show it to
Good
you
old
guys.
Homer.
Of they called some unlicensed, uninsured schmuck, and he decides to change an angle stop with the water on in a building that he couldn't get to the shutoff.
I know exactly the one you're
Hysterical.
talking about.
This is a lesson in why you should never hire cheap labor. All hiring and decisions were exclusively between the landlord and plumber. The woman with the steam vacuum is the tenant of this low-income apartment with her 2 children. They reported a leaking bathroom sink to their landlord. The landlord is very problematic, very cheap, and called in a self-appointed plumber named Wilmer. Wilmer is the kind of cheap labor that cuts corners to try and save money. It should come as no surprise, with these buildings having been built in the 1970s and earlier, that nothing is up to code. The apartment complex requires a $150 fee. To be paid every 30 minutes, the water is turned off. Wilmer tried to please the cheap landlord by saving her $150 on the bill, by repairing the leak with the water still on. Wilmer, confident in his abilities and armed with his trusty 5-gallon bucket, knows that he will always get her return business if he pulls this off. He gets underneath the sink and unleashes a torrent of steaming hot water. All in all, 2 apartments were ruined, and all affected tenants had to vacate the apartment for extensive repair. This video proved the incompetence of both the landlord and plumber. Thus, the landlord was forced to pay all damages to all parties involved.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna pull that video up.
All right.
Worst job.
But that was
I had 3.
All right,
Do we
pick
have time?
one.
They're quick.
Okay,
They're
go
quick.
for it.
So, with this company, I had one. I was changing an angle stop, 3/8 angle stop, threaded, and I was very gentle, and I felt it break in the wall. And I hear the water, but it wasn't like rushing yet, and I'm like looking. It's always like no one's around.
You're holding it there.
I know the guy was on the other side of the wall, but like I didn't want the homeowner to have to like run down. So like, sir, do you mind shutting the water off for me? He goes, everything all right? I said, it will be when you shut that water off. So he shut it off, and then the water like poured, whatever water was there, went down into the basement. He's like, there's a puddle down here. Should I be worried about that? I said, no, I'm going to fix it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then I had a water main. I had to add a ball valve onto, but it was the copper was very weak.
Thin. It's a thin wall copper. Yeah.
At the ball valve, not at the main valve.
Coming from the
city
street?
side.
The city side?
So when I cut, I had a bucket underneath. It was supporting it, but everything just dropped. Like it just went
From the city.
From the city.
How long did that take them
That
to
little
come?
nut fitting, the 90 nut or whatever it is that drops like that. Is that what you're talking about?
It was a brass fitting going into the
meter,
the valve that broke.
All right.
So
like a flare.
I'm holding it, and Joe, our boss, was there, and I ran outside, and it was the first week I had jet sweat. I never had jet sweat before.
What was that?
Jet sweat, as you're when you need to sweat and stop water, it's like this long tube that has rubber on it.
Oh, yes.
I ran out to my truck. I got it, shoved it in,
and that
it
worked.
stopped.
Yeah.
It saved
We have
me.
that kit up there.
And then we ended up doing it. We did the main live. We cut it and we shoved the ball valve on there and pressed it.
Just like Bill
And
O'Reilly.
It on video.
Bill O'Reilly
It didn't
did.
look like anything. It didn't look like anything exciting. And not like his story.
Frankie, we'll do it live.
Well, he makes it. But doing it live anytime is. is
My boss
yeah,
is
dude, I
my
mean-
boss loves the internet. And he loves watching videos.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just saw this last week. The guy did it live in a commercial building. The other guy held the garbage can. We got this. We're just gonna do it. We're just gonna do it. And I was like, all right, let's whatever we got to do.
Yeah.
Worst job I was ever on, and I think I told this story in class once. We have this beautiful, beautiful home in Englewood, tucked back off the main road. Got families live there for like 40 years. Over the years, they've redone the entire 4-story house, like 10 bathrooms, 2 kitchens, huge.
Wow.
So they go, he's retired. The whole family's retired. A lot of money. So every year they go away skiing or snowboarding or something for like 5 weeks. Nobody watches the house because they've never really had a problem. And this was
I remember.
this was
going
8 or
to
9
this
years
guy's
ago.
house.
Okay. When winters were freezing, they're not anymore. This past winter we had a couple cold spells, which was good.
Yes.
But 8, 9 years ago, we had this freeze that came in for like a week and a half. Before they left, they turned the heat down to like 50. So the house gets nice and cold, and then it gets freezing outside. In their first week, one of the heat lines froze. It was a 1-inch heat line for a monoflow loop. It freezes, and then the heat kicks on and keeps kicking on, bursts the pipe, but it's frozen. It finally dethrones the ice and pours boiling hot water into their first floor living room for like 4 weeks.
Shit.
4 weeks. I'm talking a 300,000 BTU boiler. They come home on the 4th week. The entire house is melting. Black mold everywhere to the attic, bro, because it was so cold outside, and it was just a whole steam room. This entire house was a steam room for 4 weeks.
Yeah, like a boiler like that.
It just
can
kept
keep
heating the
up-
water
yeah, it can
and
keep up
filling
with
up
that.
and heating the water. So they come home to that. The entire house had to be gutted. It took a year to redo this house. Insurance gave them a
four-story
big
house.
Yeah.
That's wild.
The attic was
That's,
finished with this huge playroom. Everything was destroyed. Not a single square inch of this house was salvageable.
Damn.
What's your worst job?
It's probably not the worst job, but the job that comes to my mind is where the GC tried to fight me.
Oh yeah.
The GC tried to the GC tried to fight me. He was some roided out moron.
Yeah.
It was a job that you know those modular homes.
Yes. Yeah.
The modular homes are where
got
everything's
into that
supposed
business.
to fit together.
He knows nothing about it.
And all the plumbing's always snapped
It's
and broken.
snapped,
Yeah.
It's
broken,
like,
and it never matches up exactly right. You have to bring it a little bit. There's no 45 or 90 that works properly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, me and his brother were on that job actually. So a couple things happened on that job. Flooded the basement because his brother is so big and strong that he literally
just
snaps a
broke
union.
the union.
He snaps a union for the water main, and he comes running
With his
outside.
hands.
No,
What?
but
With 2 channel locks.
with 2 channel locks.
still.
I did it with the pipe
I
wrench
was
a
like,
couple
what?
weeks ago, which I was kind of proud of. But
Is your brother Cole Cullen?
he's huge. He's
He's
huge.
huge. He's 4 years younger than me, 4 inches higher, taller, and like 130 pounds heavier.
Yeah,
He's a monster.
yeah.
But he's a gentle giant.
And I'm out at the truck getting a
looks like
fitting.
yeah, pretty much.
I'm out at the truck getting a fitting he's downstairs tightening the union, and I just hear the thumps of the giant coming out, and he's freaking out. He goes, "Where are the shutoffs? Where are the shutoffs?" I'm like, "What do you mean? Like a half-inch shutoff? You know, what do you need? Press, IP?"
My brother's screaming this.
Yeah, but he's talking about the shutoff for the main.
Yeah.
You know, the little keys that you have for the main. And I'm like, "We don't have those."
They weren't in yet.
We don't have those. No. And I go, "What happened?" He goes, "I snapped the union," but he's freaking out on the front lawn, like causing a scene on the front lawn. And I'm calling him, and I'm like, because this is like maybe the second or third time I met his brother, and we're on a job like this, and he's losing his mind. And I call him gigantic,
hairy.
freaking out. And I call him and I go, "Listen, you got to call your brother and you got to say something to him because he's like causing a massive scene in the like front yard of this nice neighborhood in Mawa. All right, you got to call him and calm him down or something." And he goes, "All right." So then he calls him, he calms him down, and then I forget what happened. It was a day after that we went back to the job, and I walk in, and it's a construction site. I'm not putting booties on, okay? I don't put booties on. One of the sections, like, one of the rooms was finished. I walked in that room to go get something. He loses his mind on me. Then he starts trying to fight me, and then his
the GC?
brother, and then his brother comes in, and he goes, "This is not going to happen." You know, because he's huge. And
The brute squad came in.
So, but that was probably the most uncomfortable job that I've been on.
Hell yeah.
This guy had no idea what he was doing, didn't know scheduling, didn't know nothing. And he just tried to get into the modular home business.
We've
This
all
juice
run
head.
into one or two of those guys, which thankfully, I mean, for whatever, but our current boss, we got some... We all have our favorite contractor and our least favorite contractor, but at least all the guys that we work with for the most part is like, at the end of the day, it's not like that. You know, like some guy who's like, "I just got $500,000 from my dead aunt, and I'm gonna go into the what I saw on TikTok business." And yeah, luckily they're at least
Go
like,
into the to I saw on TikTok business.
Hey, I mean we've done things like that too, like not with contractors, but just, you know, "Hey, I want you to install this."
Yeah.
Why would you install
I know.
this?
Yeah.
It's like, I saw it on TikTok.
Well, you guys were just talking about the radiant heat in the ceiling.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I
Never in my life have I heard this.
We
I've
could
never
show
heard of
it
this.
on the pod or whatever, like whatever on video later. I'll show you.
When-
But I have pictures of it.
When he first explained it to me, I was like, "That makes sense. I've heard of radiant in the ceiling." I thought he meant like when you're in the basement,
Below the
ceiling.
floor.
Okay, and then you have radiant heat that goes up to whatever floor you're in. But he said no, it's in the roof.
Yeah, man.
In my head, I thought it was for like ice melt for the roof.
Oh, maybe that's
No,
it.
no,
It's
it isn't.
actually the heat for the room. It is.
How does
There's
that
no
work?
other heat in this room.
What we're convinced of, because what was
There's
ripped
no
down-
heat below.
No,
I
it's on
believe
a
that
slab.
room's on a slab. Yeah.
It's on a slab, yeah. So there's no heat below, and rather than running baseboard, which seems to make a lot of sense, what they did was, and I was there for the demo. I don't know
That
if you
makes no
saw any
sense.
of that.
What are you
Did
talking
you see
about,
any
baseboard?
of the demo? Were you there for that?
No, I heard the story, and then about this radiant heat in the ceiling. My boss asked me about it, and I was like, "I've never heard of that before." And then I showed up at the job today. I didn't know I was going to look at that. And I look up and I go,
"Okay,
is
Is
this
it the
the
black
one
pipe?
with the heat in the ceiling?"
Is it the black onyx piping?
No. What it was they had, for some reason, decided to run 1/2-inch OD copper. So kind of a weird outer you know what I mean? Like gas, flexible, yeah, K. And, but they ran that through the ceiling, and
They just stuffed it in a bunch of different spots.
So
it was
weird,
in weird
dude.
spots.
they tacked it to the, whatever, the joists. Because there's an attic above. It's not a livable space. So
Well,
there's
that
just
attic's going to be real comfortable in the winter.
it'll be wonderful.
The HVAC guys are loving it right now.
Yeah. So they tacked it to the rafters or whatever, and then put plaster over it. And now they were renovating this house, so now it was going to be sheetrock, and they needed to figure out a way to demo this ceiling without disturbing this half-inch OD
Unbelievable.
copper, and we had to figure out because it was very.
Good, they deserve it for such a stupid design.
It was really ridiculous, and
I've
we
just
managed
never
to do
seen it.
though.
I've never seen it.
It doesn't make
how they ran
logical
it.
sense to me.
How they ran it, I've never seen
Heat rises.
piping. Yeah,
That's what
I've never
said.
seen heat pipe run like that.
I've
before.
done an entire house in radiant. Every square inch of the house was radiant heating on the floor.
So when you do radiant floor heat, what you run the PEX? What is underneath it?
You can either lay it in the floor and you put your foam base with the reflection on it.
Foam base with reflection. Yes.
And you lay it in the channels and you strap
Yes.
it in. But I prefer, because I hate mixer valves. I hate
Yeah,
mixer
yeah.
valves. Hate everything about them. For tubs, everything. For hand washing sinks, hate them.
I agree.
I like the black onyx that you can suspend 2 inches from the ceiling, from the floor below.
Yeah.
You hang it, you zigzag it. It suspends 2 inches below. You snap on reflectors and you put reflective insulation above it, and you run that at 180 degrees, and it'll just permeate the floor at a nice 80 to 90 degree temperature.
No kidding.
So you
Really?
can
And
maintain
because
the
it
heat
has
like
that gap, it doesn't.
It
mess
doesn't.
up
It doesn't burn
material.
the floor.
Doesn't burn
It
the
doesn't
floor.
mess up the hardwood. Nothing. It just radiates heat through it.
Yeah.
So you don't have to. All you're doing is just
Really?
piping in a separate zone.
I like that.
Yeah, me too.
I like that better because we work at an apartment complex where what are we doing all the time? Changing
Plus when-
mixing valves.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
All
they're
the time.
clogged.
All day.
And
Yeah.
plus, when you have to, if you like, you don't have to break up the floor to fix it. All you have to do is
That's-
remove some sheetrock.
I always wondered about that. Is it sounds great. Sounds just
I would never
amazing
buy a
walking
house
on
on a
a warm
slab.
floor, but
Never would I buy a house on a slab.
Why would
Well, all
you-
the houses
yeah.
in Paramus were slabs with radiant heat that were in the slabs.
Yeah.
So if
In
you
the
want to fix
50s.
anything, in the 50s, where if you want to fix anything, you have to break up not only your wood floors but your concrete.
Concrete, yeah.
By the way, that's in the Dan Halloran book, Pumping Away.
Okay.
If anyone ever wants to buy it, it's just about hot water heating, hydronic heating.
Yeah.
But he talks about how initially there were like Sears homes that were built on a slab, and the heating system, the pumps were pumping into the boiler as opposed to pumping away from the boiler.
That's how I run them.
And it
I pump into
caused
the
it.
boiler.
Into it.
I pump into the boiler.
At that time in the 50s, when they had these Sears homes, they were having this weird problem where there was cavitation of the pumps and even the boiler itself. And what was going on was that technicians were having problems because air was getting into the lines because the pump was pumping into the boiler, sucking away from the bleeder valves, like a hose bib, look at a boiler drain. And so it's a negative pressure, sucks air in on those things when every time it kicks on. And instead of bleeding it every time, these technicians were just upping the aquastat to 180, 190 or whatever. And it was causing this cavitation problem. And anyway, it was really interesting what he said. I don't think that's like every case, but when you pump away from the boiler, if the arrow on the thing, you pull it out of the boiler. For some reason, it has less likelihood of pulling air in, depending on how
That
you
would
pipe
make
it.
sense. I also think it depends where you put your fill valve, where you put your zones, stuff like that. You know,
it's not a guarantee no matter what. But it
I always
was
thought,
interesting.
I had a debate with Ronnie on this one actually, because I was like, "Well, don't you want the circulator is a pump? It's a literal pump with like an impeller and stuff.
Yeah.
Don't you want to have like pressure behind it so it can move water easier? Because if you're pulling, when pumps pull, they wear out faster. When pumps push, they wear out. They last way longer.
Yes.
Because they have back pressure behind them. But if you're pulling, you're putting stress on everything. But he's like, but he's right, because it's a closed system under pressure, and it really does. When you're under 10 to 15 pounds of pressure, it can't tell the difference where it's at.
I wish I had the book with me, but
It's
it was
with
really
zone
cool.
valves. What we figured out with zone valves. If you put zone valves on the return side instead of the feed side, you'll get a really bad water hammer when the valves close.
You'll rattle all the pipes when the water hit, if they're not strapped.
I didn't know that.
In some houses,
That's
if you put them upside down, you know how the ball opens and everything inside.
See all these tricks. We're gonna grow together, guys. We're gonna grow and mature together.
We can't grow until you tell me about tankless boilers and why you hate them so much. Because I just
Did you
watched
see
that
my-
video. I wasn't too happy or pleased.
Why you like them?
I'm a big fan.
Are you
fan?
really?
I'm a big fan.
Do you live in a condo or
you've been doing
apartment?
this longer, so you know.
Why are you a big fan though?
I
Jay
like
likes to carry
the
him
complexity
himself.
and the computers and the amount of time you have to
He's
spend.
a mechanic. That's why.
I'm a mechanic.
That's why.
I like to tinker.
Yeah.
And
How can you get those? How can you get those hands in there, bro? Those big clodhopper hands.
I've had issues. I've had issues, and you got to half the time take
because the
apart.
Japanese make them.
You
They get
gotta
in there
take
and then.
apart half the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, you
To
like
fix
that?
a
You're saying
little
that with a
sensor in the
smile on your
back.
face, like you're like.
All right, so you know
I
what?
love that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
But
call
you know
you when
what?
I need tech support.
You gotta know it for the next
Overcome.
time. You gotta do it once. Get hit with that 3 hours for that little tiny sensor.
He's totally right.
And then you do it again, and then you do it again, and then by the third time, you're like, "Oh, wow!"
I feel like
I could have
that's-
just done it like this the whole time.
I guess.
You know how many plumbers won't work on them, and now you have a niche to jump in and do.
I love them.
All right, I'll give
Navian
that to you.
especially.
They're good
And
for
I know
nothing
a lot of
except
people don't love
apartments.
Navian. I'm a Navian guy. I have one at my
flabbergasted.
house.
I'm flabbergasted
I
at
have
this
You have one at
boiler
a
conversation.
at my
house?
house. Fire tube. It's amazing. I have 3 zones running on my house. I've
3 zones is not crazy.
You have
never.
an avian brand though?
Navian brand,
Okay,
yeah. It was
Three
new.
zone-
It was a new design when I bought it.
3 zones isn't crazy though.
It's a nice 3-zone system. It runs very smoothly, very quiet.
I like triangle tube for a boiler only. And
Yeah.
my ideal situation would be a triangle tube wall hung because they're very spacious inside and they're very basic.
Nope.
And an indirect water heater.
I
Really,
didn't
you
have
want to
room
have a
for my
storage
indirect,
tank?
so I didn't do it.
I like the storage tank.
And I don't care how long it takes for the water.
Mine would
to
be a
get to
cabin
my-
with a wood burning stove. That works the best.
I gotta say,
I go
wanna
that
keep
way, too.
The freestanding tanks. I want to keep the regular water heaters.
Me too.
It's just,
The-
it
just
works
the
with
gas
no
fired?
electricity, and even if you have a storage or an indirect fired water heater, it's like, well, if the power goes out,
That is
you're
the
screwed.
disadvantage. Is as soon as the power goes out, and you know it always goes out on the coldest day of the year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because everybody's
and you
using
don't have
everything.
heat. I don't care about hot water. I
Yeah.
care about heat in wintertime.
Oh, I care about hot water. I'll take no heat over hot water.
Yeah.
And heat used to be the
can
same
bundle up.
way. Like it used to be, power piles and
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
on the boiler. So you used to have everything.
You know what? I might take
Without-
that back because I got stuck. He's got a.
He talks a big game. This dude's a big baby. Whenever the weather changes slightly
Whenever
off
it's
of
cold or
70
hot,
degrees,
I act the same.
if it's not 70 degrees, yeah, it's like the drama.
So hot. All
It
right,
has
what
to
I
be-
work today.
I
the
hate
temperature
it,
has
too.
to be just perfect. I know how it
it
is.
as well.
He's got a cabin upstate, and
I do too.
it just
Yeah.
Yeah.
What town?
Upstate New York, Scroon Lake.
I love Scroon Lake, dude.
you? I
don't know
Scroon
what it
Lake's
is.
fucking gorgeous.
This is a site. You know Todd? My
Yes,
friend
yeah,
Todd.
bro. Scroon Lake's
that I told you
beautiful.
about. He passed the test.
Yeah.
He just bought up there because I raved up about it so much, and he
I'm taking the
grew
camper
up
up there.
going there. And then I find out when I bought the cabin, my dad used to go up there for camp
I took my
to
camp
Loon Lake,
Yeah.
which is right there.
right there.
Schoon and Loon Lake.
Scoon,
Yeah.
Scoon and Loon Lake.
Where's
Dude, I
your
just brought my
place at?
camper up at Scoon
Kingston.
Lake.
Yeah, this is amazing
Where
up
is
there.
it?
Kingston, New York.
I know
Oh,
Kingston. Yeah,
Yeah, Saltkill Road.
The first year he put it up, I went up there to ride the quad or whatever, just by myself. And it was winter, okay? And there was no heat, there was no wood burning stove, and I'm like, screw it. The walls are up, I'm gonna camp out here. It was 2 degrees. It was 2 degrees outside and it was 2 degrees
That-
inside.
That upstate
And,
cold is
and the
different.
wind,
something else.
and I at 3:00 in the morning, I was an ice cube. I said, I can't take this anymore. It doesn't matter how many clothes I put on, I could not get
Did
warm.
we ever tell the hunting story? When we went to your buddy's place, we went to his friend's place and it was like 3 hours away, somewhere upstate New York.
Deleted. Oh, go ahead.
Somewhere upstate New York, we go for a hunting trip. He goes, "Listen, I'll get you guys a deer. I'm gonna drop you off at the field at 4 in the morning." And
Damn.
yeah, we'll drop
Yeah.
you.
It was earlier than that.
It was
It was
might have been.
2:30 in the morning. We
I'll
went
drop
out.
you off in the field. There's gonna be
in the Adirondacks
There's nothing.
in November.
Yeah, it's just it's deer.
It's deer
Not that
season.
cold.
It's deer
Was
for
it
deer.
Was it rifle or
Rifle.
bow and
Rifle,
arrow?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
So we go out there.
a
I
little-
think it's my first time ever going out hunting.
He's wearing that.
All right. No, with a lighter jacket over. and he's wearing a big.
I got coveralls,
everything,
insulated
to the bones.
coveralls.
You've been.
I've done it before, yeah.
All right, cool.
I take the high point. There's a little mound in the middle of this giant field. I take a high point and I go sit in between trees, and it's freezing. And I take the jacket and I wrap it around, and I
Freezing, dude.
I sit like next to a tree, and we're sitting out there, and I'm looking through the binoculars, and I'm going back into like my little coveralls, and 2 hours go by. It's freezing, but all the entire time in my head, I'm thinking, I'm not gonna quit.
I'm not gonna bail.
I'm not gonna say we gotta go back because it's too cold. So eventually I hear footsteps walking up. I think he wants to change, spots or whatever. He goes,
I bailed.
We're going back. It's too fucking cold.
I bailed.
I can't do it. And I was so happy, but I'm like, wow, you're a bitch, aren't
that's
you?
the whole ride. Can't believe you broke us up. We were going to get a deer. But inside, he's like so happy that I came back and got him.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I mean, that's half the fun of being the brave one, is being able to say,
Exactly.
Well, I wasn't the one who suggested we quit, but
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys this. We're going to wrap up soon.
yes.
You get your license. What's the plan?
I had, honestly, when I
You got to
first,
pull that mic closer.
Honestly, when I first started going to school and seriously thinking about the license, I had a lot of different ideas about it, but just after working for a couple different people and even meeting all of the guys in class, including you guys, I'm thinking way more about just getting a truck, and starting out on my own. I have a license,
One-man
I know a lot of-
operation.
Yeah, and start from there, as opposed to being the guy who goes, I'm gonna start an empire right off the bat. It's like, maybe I just do at least 1 year of seeing what it's like to pay for the workman's comp and the
you wait, dude.
insurance and the bond.
You're
and
going to
all
be
that
angry.
stuff.
You're going to be angry.
I'm sure the first thing I'll do is like, man, I need some idiot to make me some money. But you can't hire an idiot.
No.
You have to hire
You gotta
somebody
suck it.
who really knows, even just to tighten a trap, or install a kitchen sink. So,
I'll let you finish, but I'm going to jump in on that.
Yeah.
You just need someone with a brain. You don't need some experience, someone who could take direction.
Yeah.
He didn't have any plumbing experience. I took it over and I was by myself for 1.5 years until he came on.
yeah.
And I learned all hard lessons. I still learned hard lessons, but I just needed an extra set of hands. So just look for someone who has a brain. I don't even care about experience. But anyway, go ahead.
Right on. And ultimately, I think I still maintain that I always wanted to be the guy who said, well, I'll take on a young apprentice, teach him, and then move him up the ranks until I can hire another guy and keep on moving that way. Maybe that's
That's the plan.
I
What
would
about you?
like that.
I think I'm gonna work a little bit more
For somebody?
part time. Do
That's
my
fair.
thing. I
Because
have
of security or just because?
I think just to start, just to see where I'm at
Yeah.
and how quickly things develop.
Probably
But
smart.
I think it's gonna move in the correct direction. I'm just gonna.
That's also a wise.
I'm
that's also
also-
the wise way to do it.
I've worked for enough bosses to know I want to just be on my own at this point.
Yeah.
I need to just do me
And make
have
your
my
mon-
own
make your own
rules,
money.
make my own hours, make my own rules.
Yeah.
You'll never
And
be able to go back.
I don't think I can.
Oh, amen to that.
You'll never be able to
can't.
go back.
But that's the goal. That's
Yeah.
what we're working for.
I want to start my empire with Frankie's face on everything, like Trump Tower.
Oh, yeah.
Frankie's face on Trump Tower. The courts building.
Frankie coin.
What's your plan, Max?
What's my plan?
What's your plan? You get your license. What's your plan?
I plead the fifth.
Why?
Why? Because why am I going to tell my plan to my boss?
What do I care what you're gonna do? Leave for all I care.
I'm out.
Beat it.
You act cold.
What is
cold on
what's
camera.
your ultimate goal, Phil? What do you think?
4 trucks.
And
4
you're
trucks.
still going out. You're still out there.
No,
No.
no. I'm going out there now. But once I have 4 trucks, no, I'm gonna. You run it. Have a supervisor. Apparently, he's leaving, so I'll have a supervisor.
I want to be able to.
supervisor. What the
I mean, I've only been doing it for 5 years, but the end game is to not be using my hands, just be using my head.
Me too.
Yeah.
And have the money.
Yeah.
You know,
Me too.
And
You're
be
taking all
able
the
to
risk.
teach people, you
Yeah.
know, what I know and grow.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree.
I know at 40 years old, I've been only doing it for 5 years. I feel on my legs, though I did work on cars for quite some time. So
Yeah, you have a life
I
behind
have
you.
a back issue,
Yeah.
because of that, and then now I have knee issues.
Listen, guys, thanks for coming on.
We really
This was
appreciate
fun.
it. This
Thanks
was
for
great.
having us.
These
Ton
are
of
my
fun.
favorite episodes where it's
We're
not
coming
official.
back.
There's nothing there's no bullet points I have to hit. It's just guys who are in the same industry BSing. These are my favorite episodes.
Heck yeah.
So, Jay and Silent Rob, you're going to see them out. You guys aren't in Bergen County, really.
No,
right?
we're in Union County mostly.
Union County.
Yeah.
You'll see them out there. And honestly, we're going to grow together.
Elizabeth? Union County is Elizabeth, right?
We do like Elizabeth. We do a lot of Westfield, Cranford.
That's
Do you do a lot of Elizabeth?
Chatham, we're big.
I love Chatham.
Yeah, Chatham's
Chatham's a great
nice.
town to work in.
Yeah.
A lot of money. Yeah.
For sure.
Mendham.
I can't wait to leave my house and work within a 15 square mile radius. From
Oh, we don't
Wayne.
leave a 4.
I just want to work in Wayne. Really, I want to be.
We don't leave a 4
I
mile
want to be
radius.
the Harry Bar. Or the next Harry Bar.
The next
I want to be the next Harry Bar. I love that guy.
All right, guys, listen, appreciate you coming on. I'm not going to have you plug a company until you open it. When you guys open your own company, you're welcome to come on. And then we'll
Appreciate it.
plug that. We'll just make commercials all day.
Cheers, brother.
All right, guys, thanks for sticking with us on this fun episode. Max, thanks for co-hosting like always.
no problem.
I appreciate your presence. I'm going to
Why-
make up
why-
for all the
why
10
being
years
nice?
that
Why being nice?
I don't know. Guys, listen, thanks for watching. We want to remind you guys that we are sponsored by the New Jersey State League of Master Plumbers. If you're a plumber or any type of contractor, join your local association, get involved. Our association, Pascack Valley, donates to charity, donates to scholarship, lobbies the government, and puts a voice out there for small business. We are also sponsored by Jigsaw PMR, jigsawpmr.com, your solution to property maintenance and restoration. They deal with fire, mold, sewer, water, soup to nuts, high-tech equipment. Otto is one of the most responsive contractors we have. Check them out online, jigsawpmr.com. If you're also interested in being on the show, we're always looking for people to come on. If you own a small business or an entrepreneur, any type of interesting industry, we'd love to have you on. It's a lot of fun. It's basically one long commercial. You're going to go to quartzplumbing.com. You're going to click the podcast link in the upper right corner, scroll down, fill out the Be a Guest application. We get you on. It's a lot of fun. We always want to remind you to like, share, subscribe. Please share, please subscribe, please like, please comment. We can use all we got. Plum Bums has merch coming out soon, so stay tuned for that.
got
We have some
stickers.
really cool. We do have stickers now. So if you want a sticker pack, I don't know, email me or something. We'll get you some stickers. But we're gonna have some cool merch coming out. So stay tuned for that. And as always, we will see you here next time.